Hi everybody, my name is Yasmin Juarez. Welcome to my emerging trend presentation on augmented reality. This is a quick overview of what I will be covering in this presentation. First, I will answer the question, what is augmented reality? Or AR as I will be calling it throughout this presentation. Next, I will go over the pros and cons of AR. Then I will explain how AR is used in education. Finally, I will name a few AR tools you can use in your classroom. First, what is AR? AR is the real-time direct or indirect view of the physical real world enhanced by virtual information. Virtual information can include text, graphics, audio, and other virtual enhancements. It is interactive, 3D, and combines real and virtual objects. It differs from virtual reality or VR. The main difference is that VR changes reality by immersing the user in a completely virtual world. AR fuses together the real world and the virtual world. Here is a short video further describing the differences between the two and how they work.
These days, we spend a lot of time looking at screens. Computers, smartphones, and televisions are a big part of our lives. They're how we get most of our news, use social media, watch movies, and more. Virtual reality and augmented reality are two technologies changing the way we use screens, creating new and exciting interactive experiences. Virtual reality, also known as VR, uses a headset with a built-in screen that displays a virtual environment for you to explore. These headsets use a technology called head tracking, which allows you to look around the environment by simply moving your head. Augmented reality, or AR, is a bit different. Instead of transporting you to a virtual world, it takes digital images and layers them on the real world around you. This is done through the use of either a clear visor or a smartphone. So, with VR, you could explore a world full of dinosaurs. But with AR, you could see those dinosaurs moving through the world around you. Both of these technologies are growing at a rapid pace and being implemented in a variety of different ways. Surgeons are using VR to practice highly technical surgeries before operating. Businesses are using them to give consumers virtual tours of products and locations. There are even apps that can use your smartphone's camera to scan and translate a foreign language in real time. As they continue to grow, VR and AR have the potential to greatly change almost every industry. You'll want to keep an eye on them to see how they might soon affect your job and potentially your everyday life.
Like the video mentioned, computers, smartphones, and televisions are a big part of our lives. They're a big part of our students' lives. They get most of their information from screens. AR is a new way our students can use screens to learn. The video also mentioned how AR is being used in different industries. Here is a list of the industries AR is currently being used. AR can be used in the travel and tourism industry by providing augmented tours of ancient locations, buildings, hotels, or restaurants. In entertainment, AR can be used for public relations and marketing for films, TV shows, theater, and concerts. AR is also used in gaming by integrating a game's visuals and audio to the player's real-world environment. Before we discover more about AR, how AR is used in education, I want to mention some AR apps you or your students may already be using in your everyday lives. The first is Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is a popular AR mobile game where users look for virtual creatures in the real world. The clip is showing how AR is used in Pokemon Go. Now we have Snapchat. Snapchat is a social media app that uses filters to add virtual enhancements to the real world. Let's move on to the pros and cons of AR, starting with the pros. First, AR delivers an enhanced communication. People are able to experience the same thing without being in the same place. This year, finding ways to share experiences and communicate without being in the same room became essential. With AR, all students are able to view something at the same time, even though they are not in the same classroom. Another pro is AR increases interaction and engagement. I think you will agree that most teachers want their students to be engaged and interact with the content in a lesson. AR can help with that. Students are able to see content from the lesson in real life and can interact with it. They are also able to create their own virtual world in many AR apps. A third pro is AR is easily accessible. All you need is a smart device like a phone, tablet, computer, or headset to have access to many AR tools and apps. AR can also help with socialization. Students get to share an experience and interact with it and one another during this AR experience. There are many AR games that can be used in the classroom to get the students to communicate and socialize with each other. A last pro is AR helps with object visualization. With AR, students can see the 3D object right in front of them no matter what it is. It helps them visualize the object better than a 2D version would. Now let's look at some cons of AR. The first con is privacy. AR needs access to data about the user and what they do. It can be intrusive since it uses a camera to access the real world and add the virtual information to it. Users have to make sure to use a trusted device and tools when utilizing AR. Next, AR can be risky at times. For example, there have been many accidents involving Pokemon Go players because they weren't paying attention. AR users may not always pay attention to their surroundings, or the virtual information can block important cues to help people avoid danger. Another con is AR can be costly. You need access to devices such as smartphones, computers, tablets, or headsets, which can be expensive to buy for a whole classroom. Finally, one last con is health issues. AR can be addictive. There are many games and tools that students will want to play for hours. This can cause eye problems and also health concerns if the students are not eating enough, or if they are eating too much or not drinking enough water. It is important for students to take breaks when using AR. Here are a few ways AR can be used in education. First is for reading comprehension. AR can augment books with 3D pictures, words, and other information that can help students with reading and improve their comprehension. Students can work with numbers in real time and virtually with AR. Students will learn spatial concepts because of the 3D images presented with AR. AR promotes content creation. Students can create their own virtual information in many apps. Next is playing. There are many AR games students can play for learning and fun that will keep them engaged. Lastly, real-life scenarios. AR can be used to apply content being learned to the real world. Finally, let's go over some tools you can use to bring AR to your classroom. Like I mentioned before, there are many apps and resources for augmented reality. Here are 4 I found interesting. The first is Anatomy 4D. This app provides a visually stunning and interactive way to learn about the human body. On the next slide, I will show a short clip of this application in action. Next is Shapes 3D. This can be used in math to explore and draw inside 3-dimensional shapes. This will help students with object visualization and spatial concepts. CoSpaces EDU is an AR application where students can create and animate their own virtual world with code. Finally, there is Layer, which is a tool teachers can use to enhance flyers, slideshows, video messages, and more. This tool will keep the students engaged by adding something extra to a regular worksheet. Here are the clips of the 2 tools I mentioned before. This first one is Anatomy 4D. As you can see, this tool can be used to study the human heart. Students can interact and see different parts of the heart by changing the settings at the bottom. There is also an audio element to this app. So in this clip, you can hear the heart beating. This clip shows CoSpace's EDU. Students have the ability to create their own virtual world. The video shows the creation of a rocket, a city where students can add buildings and streets, also animals that can be animated, and the finished virtual world can be brought to the real world through AR. That concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you discovered ways to bring AR into your classroom.